I'm doing a giveaway for PAX bundles. Stick around till the end of the video to find out how you can win. What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, doing a real quick Sanctum Showdown update because I have hit Sorcerer Supreme. I did have the bug where it jumps you up in rank, however, this needs 1,470 scrolls to unlock, and this gives you 2,500 scrolls, and as you can see, I am at above 4,000, so I would have unlocked it even without the bug at this point. I've spent all my scrolls for the day because I'm going to be pretty busy today and tomorrow, so wanted to get that number down, but I do think that I will unlock Astral Projection right now and spend half of my scrolls, so let's start with that. Nice. And maybe I'll be brewing with that. Probably not immediately because I don't see an insane use for it in Sanctum Showdown necessarily. And then I think I am going to delay making any purchases. I might get the emote. I might just go with a premium mystery variant. It kind of like depends what breakpoints I get close to because I'm probably going to buy like mostly credits. And I think I did the math and this was 800 charms worth of credits if you buy all of these. I'm not going to waste time clicking on all of them right now. I don't really care for either of the Doctor Strange variants nor the Captain America. I've got Dinosaur Captain America and I've got a few Doctor Strange variants that they've given me over time. This emote might wind up going for that, so I'll save my charms here though, and also might grab this Wong. I don't actually have a Wong variant, so that is certainly something that I am considering. But one other thing that I wanted to do in this video is just show off what I have been playing in Sanctum Showdown, and I've been showing these off in my YouTube shorts regardless, so this list is going to look pretty familiar. This is what I have mostly been playing with. We'll keep Merlin in the background there because I did not bother to set that up. But this is just a movement-based Sanctum Showdown deck because if you can move cards in between the different locations, you can just really farm up points and a lot of power. There are some awkward things. Silk kind of jumps out of the location. Hydra Bob also sometimes does that, but Batroc the Leaper and Werewolf by Night I think are really cool angles to play for. Sam Wilson does not feel as strong as it did the previous time in Sanctum Showdown, but it is still really nice that it can control Batroc, and then the rest is just Guardians. Pretty straightforward with Hydra Stomper. To finish off the curve, you typically go with Hydra Stomper plus a lower cost Guardian on like turn 5 or turn 6, pairing that with Groot or Star-Lord. Like I said, have a few YouTube shorts on that, but I am done putting out YouTube shorts on that deck because I also did a lot of my climbing with this Zabu deck, which is going for a bunch of different 4s. So I've seen different configurations of this potentially cutting Laufey and Stegron for some different high-end curves, and if you really want to tech out for the mirror and just going big in general in some of these really close matches, especially if you just wind up like tying against your opponent by playing Groot on their Groot or Drax on their Drax, having some higher end like Gamora and Gore can be good, but I just wanted to play as many cards that can work with Zabu and Surge by filling out my 4s here with Gwenpool, Stegron, Laufey, and Shang-Chi is also a nice big addition to this deck. So again, it's just kind of like a Guardians thing. All of these cards are on reveal. I'm not playing Galacta. I'm going all in on the on reveal of it all. And Nebula is really the only not on reveal card in the deck other than Werewolf by Night, which is technically an on reveal card. If you sort by on reveal 3-cost cards, it does come up, of course, because it has, oh, you can't see. It does have on reveal text, but yeah, really these are the Nebula is the only not on reveal card just because it is such a good scaler in that early game to get it down. And then Gwenpool does some nice stuff, allowing you to like set up when you think your opponent has a big moment. If they snap, you can still battle for a location with like reasonable points with Gwenpool, or you can throw off, and then you have just the means to take control of whatever the next location is over the next, sometimes multiple turns with those Gwenpool buffs, depending on where they go. And Shang-Chi, if your opponent is able to go over the top, this is a pretty straightforward deck. I don't want to belabor this too much, but I do also want to leak the next deck that I am working on for Sanctum Showdown mode and just talk about it slightly here, and that is an Ironheart based deck. So kind of realized, especially with the Ironheart got a change in the most recent OTA. Instead of giving 3 cards plus 2, now it gives 2 cards plus 3. And oh wait, I'm sorry. This is not the right deck. This was an earlier build of the deck. I have actually, did I delete it? Oh no, I just named it Ironheart. I'm trying out this. So this is, I could start with showing off this one actually. So basically what I was just going to say is that Ironheart is now really good to play on turn 3. It will be able to pump up your turn 1 and your turn 2 play. I'm also playing Sam Wilson, so it can also pump up the shield. And I kind of like that. I like being able to just move around a 3 power card that's basically like a Hydra Bob that you always have control over. And then it's also pumping up Sam Wilson at some other points. And I think that Ironheart specifically can be really good right now with Merlin. On turn 2, Ironheart pumps up that Merlin, and then you can polymorph the Ironheart on turn 4 for some potentially really big just power to energy to power ratios across the board. There's some other things that Ironheart is really good on. You can see I was trying in this deck. I mean, the best one is Werewolf by Night because you can guarantee move that power wherever you want, but also Hydra Bob seemed cool, and Mercury for some mirror matches. All of this seemed fun, and then the rest of it was just fleshed out with some Guardians. However, this is the current build that I am on. No 1-cost cards, 0 1-cost cards, and the main reason that you can get away with that and still drop an Ironheart on turn 3 is because of that Sam Wilson shield. So the idea here is to just play one of these 2s on turn 2, and I even think that, so this list is not finished by any means. I'm still going to be testing with this, and specifically I might test some other 2s. There were 2 that I was thinking of. One was Fenris Wolf. That could be an interesting inclusion in a deck with both Killmonger and Shang-Chi. You could throw in a Red Guardian. That's a pretty reasonable on-reveal card for Werewolf by Night. It's actually bigger than Groot and would pump up the Fenris Wolf. So that seems sweet. And Lasher, is that what it's called? What is the... I'm going to have to double check. I believe it's called Lasher. The 2-cost activate affliction card. Let me see. I have not played with this card at all. It's a 2/3, is it not? Do I even own this card? I must. Is it a 2/2? It's a 2/2. Okay, apologies. So, Lasher is simply a 2/2, nothing super crazy. However, Ironheart guaranteed landing on it. You play this on turn 2, setting up in an off location, then you Ironheart. It's a 2/5, and then the next time that becomes the Sanctum, you activate Lasher, and it's an additional 5 points in that lane. Actually, you can activate Lasher that same turn even if you know your opponent has a card there, and that could just immediately be a 2/10 on turn 3. So that seems like a really interesting synergy that I also want to test with Ironheart, but mostly I just think it could be good in Sanctum Showdown mode. I think that might be why they changed it when they did, and Merlin seems like a great combo with it, and Merlin's also good with Werewolf by Night, so this is all stuff that I wanted to try. Absorbing Man as a follow-up to Ironheart might be a little bit cute, but it's still +6 power, which is more than you get out of Drax. I mean, Absorbing Man on Groot is just a Drax, so that's like worst case scenario, right? And then you might be able to use Absorbing Man to copy Ironheart, which is just +6. The awkward part about that is that you don't want the Absorbing Man to pump up the Ironheart if the Ironheart is just planning on being a like Merlin chaff or something to get rid of, but I do think Absorbing Man could have some utility in the deck. And then Shang-Chi Absorbing Man, I think, is potentially just a way to really surprise some opponents that are expecting the first Shang-Chi, but definitely not expecting the second one. I have already won a game with that. Killmonger is something else that we can add because we are not playing any 1-cost cards. The whole goal here is to play a 2-cost card and then pump up that 2-cost card and the Sam Wilson shield with that Ironheart. Of course, you could also just play Werewolf on turn 3 and then turn 4 play Ironheart, pumping up the Werewolf. That does kind of make you feel like the deck might want a 1-cost card like a Rocket Raccoon to move the Werewolf around on that turn 4 and just give you, I mean, more cheap cards that you can play, right? For right now, I'm playing Miles Morales Spider-Man. It only combos with Sam Wilson Werewolf, and then, of course, if your opponents are doing that same stuff, it can also combo with those. This deck, like I said, is kind of in its infancy. I've played maybe, I don't know, 10 games or so with it, and I've tried other Ironheart decks, and even with that experimentation, I've still been able to make it to Sorcerer Supreme rank already. So this is, well, I will say the next few YouTube shorts that I will have coming out will be on this deck. So this is the deck list that I will be using. I already have used it. Anything that I've already uploaded uses this deck, and then later on in like 2-3 days I will probably switch to this deck, depending on, you know, it might be 4 days. I don't know how much time Sanctum Showdown is actually around, so I might try to get out a lot of my clips with this Zabu deck in the next 2 days actually, because yeah, the Sanctum Showdown is only around for 3 more days, so not too much time, but just wanted to do a quick little update. And I guess we'll check in again at the end of the event, and I will spend the rest of my charms on some other things here in the shop. But oh yeah, there was one other thing that I did want to talk about in this video, and that is, so I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to pursue character mastery on now that, oh, I think I was on the wrong scene for that last thing. But as you can see with this deck, I've got like half of the cards with this orange border and orange rays finish, which I think looks cool. But I can't, like, I don't have the master. Actually, I probably do have the mastery on this. No, I don't. Yeah, or otherwise I would have done it. So one thing that I might consider doing with character mastery now is splitting everything until I can get this border, or not this border, but get this background on everything, and that would just give me something random to pursue. I do also feel like I don't have a great split on Thanos still yet, and I played a lot of Thanos last season, and yeah, I just like don't have any good splits for it. So part of me wants to maybe split Thanos 1 or 2 more times, but also part of me is just maybe like this will be my new thing because I think it looks reasonably nice. It's a little bit tricky because you can unlock it anywhere in between character mastery level 2 and character mastery level 10. That is when it switches over into Mystery Cache 2. If we switch to like Stegron, I probably don't have too much on, right? Yeah. So Stegron, you can see actually, it's already level 7, and there's 2 more Mystery Caches, but I have not yet unlocked the raise. So some cards are going to just randomly take longer than others, but everything, you actually should get it by level 9 at the very most. So I think that could be a reasonable angle to take for it. That's it. Just a quick little update video, and hope everyone is enjoying Sanctum Showdown. But for today, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace. So here's how I'd like to do my giveaway for PAX bundles. I've got 6 of them, courtesy of Second Dinner, to give away, and I've done similar contests like this before where you can comment on my videos and enter for a chance to win. And I'm going to do the same thing this time. Every time you comment on one of my videos, limit once per video, but you can comment on every single one of my videos this season, and that will give you another entry. So if I upload 50 videos this season, you could enter up to 50 times. I'm not going to do any type of like code word or anything like that. It would make it a little bit easier on me, but I want anyone that comments anything to be eligible to win, even the people that have already commented on my videos the past 2 weeks for this season. And you can still go back and comment on those old videos if you want a chance to win. But here is what I am requiring. You to join my Discord. The link is in the video description. That is just going to be so much easier for me to give the winners their codes. Sometimes people win and I respond to their comments and I tell them to email me, and like spam filters pick that up, or people just don't receive the notifications on YouTube. So it will be a lot easier for me if you join my Discord. That is not the purpose of it. I do not care if people join my Discord. It is just going to make it easier for me to tell you if you have won this giveaway. So leave a comment on any of my videos and join my Discord so I can tell you if you've won something.